to launch the Power Podcast. It is 15 minutes or less focusing on a specific part of the female founder journey from ideation, creation, launch, and growth. Today we have Lauren Fennema from Confidants, and she's going to walk us through our deep dive, which is the first 12 to 18 months of launching your business. All right, real quick, give me the 1 minute overview of Confidants.
First, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, excited to be here.
What the audience doesn't know is we're doing this over a glass of Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, just the best. It's 5 p.m. Got to do it. So Confidants, what we do is go out and scout new emerging brands in women's lifestyle and curate them in one place and tell the story behind the brand. And our broader vision is to help you shop online with your friends. So how can you discover really cool stuff, share it, recommend it, discover it with your friend group. So coming to you very soon on that part. But until then, yeah, you can come to us to find really rad brands that you wouldn't find anywhere else.
Love it.
Yeah.
Tell me what brought you to launching this company and what made you want to leave your very cush job at Huckberry to do so.
Well, it started beautifully as a pilot project at Huckberry. So that was like the best of both worlds where I was getting paid to discover my passion. So that kind of evolved pretty quickly and easily, and I had a really great experience at Huckberry, having a front row seat to how to build an e-commerce company, and more importantly, how to scout and discover new brands and work in the evolving retail landscape. So that was amazing, and basically got to a point where I realized I was dedicating more of my in-office time to this side project, and actually probably not being the best employee in that way, and having been part of the early team and at Huckberry for almost 5 years, it was a really great point to gracefully exit the business and find out what was next. And so the decision was actually really hard, and it felt really emotional, actually. So leaving what felt like a family and kind of going out on my own was certainly a thing I'll probably always remember, and felt like a really brave moment. The actual decision-making wasn't thought through. So I'll say, yeah.
Rip the Band-Aid and let's go?
Yeah, I'd say.
Do you think that you had any, I need to show these guys what I can do?
I think, the polished, front-facing side of me would say no. But yeah, deep down, I think
This is real talk.
This is real talk. The real talk is, I think anytime you feel like you've discovered your passion and maybe, the pilot was moderately successful, but ultimately not something the business wanted to pursue. So in that way, it was fuck it, all right, I'm going to go see if I can do it. So there's certainly a bit of a chip on the shoulder, but not towards any one person, just as a motivation and an initiative.
Loved it. So it'll drive you forward. Okay, so the first 12 to 18 months, you've been almost 24 months in business, which is amazing.
Thank you.
But walk me through the first 6 months, the second 6 months, and then the last year of what you've gone through, because there's a lot that can happen before of you're very excited about where you're going, and then the reality of, oh my God, this is my life.
Totally. So I left the full-time job, got on a plane, and met my girlfriends in Mexico City. Would highly recommend that as an exit strategy to just kind of be holy shit, what did I just do? But then the first 6 months were a lot of me pepping myself up to actually do it. So the first 6 months I got consulting jobs. I was very scared of not having an income. Still that way, and really hustled on the consulting front, and then had this thing in the back of my mind being you built all this momentum, you have all the connections, you know how to do this, just go for it. And so what that looked like is then, the second 6 months was networking. So figuring out, how do I incorporate, where can I go, figure out how to do that. I joined a co-working space called The Assembly, which was full of other entrepreneurial women to help me kind of navigate that. I did a lot of Google searching and just asked a lot of friends, am I crazy? Would you be down to connect me with these people, whether they're lawyers, whether they're, how do I start Shopify? How do, kind of answering all of these questions for me, and got to build a lot of momentum just through a lot of people being excited to cheer me on. So I'd say that second 6 months was the most exciting, because people are oh my God, you're doing something new. Can't wait to support you. And it's the first time you're asking for favors, so everyone's really excited to pitch in. And then they're oh, are you going to keep asking me for favors?
Yeah, let's dive into that.
So
we hear this a lot on the favor side. So obviously bootstrapped.
Yes, bootstrapped.
Yep, you didn't have a $10 million coming in to get this going.
Yeah.
The favors. How did you ask? What was the reaction, and what did you learn through that process?
Yeah, I think great. Still asking favors, so still mastering this, but I think I'm always looking for what are people maybe not getting to do in their full-time jobs, or just like naturally show an interest for that they want more experience in, and how does that maybe align with something that I'm looking to build in my business. So like I have a lot of friends that are creative and love to take photos. So I'm like, hey, I need a photo shoot. Do you want to go out and we'll just like do a quick photo shoot, and you can get some experience trying it and I can get images for the site. So trying to just be a little bit scrappy about how can we both benefit from working together in something that feels like a little less intense, than being like, I really need a photo shoot. Can you help me today? It's more being like a bit more creative. And then for things that are like true asks, not trying to hide the favor and just be like, it would really help me out if you could help me with this, and just be really plain about it and really kind of like direct. And obviously offer any way that I can help in exchange, whether that be connecting them with people that I know, or helping them like with their own website or copywriting, or like whatever skill set that comes easily to me. How can I maybe volunteer that in exchange for a favor? So, that doesn't always work, but I'd say you'd be surprised how many people are really excited to help you. And that certainly was the case for me, and I feel really grateful for the community that I have here. So,
love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell me, what's been the biggest high in the last, again, 12 to 18 months?
Oh my gosh. Without a doubt, like our very first photo shoot, I like corralled, like asked like 15 friends. They're all like, we have a job on a Wednesday, so no, we can't come do this thing with you. But a few of them were able to come. And so it was really, the reason it was so exciting is I got to really witness what I felt like was like the essence of the thing I'm trying to build happening in real time and in person. And so to see a bunch of really rad women come together to help each other with a creative project, to kind of like live this adventurous life and get to capture that on camera and on film was like really like truly a body high. And also getting to like see the vision just ever so slightly start to come to life. This was before we launched the website. And just like have a really fucking great day, And so I think that was like...
Was this in Stinson Beach?
Yeah, I was close. We were out at Ocean Beach. So yeah, we did a little tour downtown, and then went, we did like three or four different locations. And one of my friends is a professional photographer, and it was really kind of her to like spend the day with us that day. So we got like very legit assets from that. And it also like showed me that people believe in me. I think it was the first time I really asked for like a coordinated effort for something I was going to like publicly launch into the world, and not just like, hey, can you help me with this contract, or something like that. And so that was definitely a high. I'd say like anything, the next high would have been like our launch party, where we hosted a big event in the Mission and had like over 100 people come by and actually buy stuff from us and kind of understand what we were doing for the first time. So it's a pop-up shop essentially. And every time I do one of those events, it's a high moment. I get to meet people in person. I get to practice trying to concisely tell you what we do, trying to like feel out if you're interested. So yeah, a lot of high moments actually on this journey so far.
That's awesome. So tell me though, maybe not the low, but what are your biggest fears right now, or the moment when you were like, oh my God?
No, I mean, definitely a lot of those. So like, I'd say for me, this last, we talked about kind of the first sets of 6 months, and then the last year, I think you learn so much about yourself. I'm a solo founder. I'd love a co-founder, but until that happens, it's kind of just me in my own head. And so it's easy to get lost in your own patterns. But over the last year, I've zoomed out and noticed that I really had struggled with worthiness a bit. And like that has prevented me from doing things like raising money earlier, has prevented me from like asking for more financial help, has like kind of held me back in certain ways. And so I think a lot of my low moments have been around like, am I worthy of asking this person for financial help? Or am I worthy of like going out and fundraising for this idea? And so I think that has really opened my eyes of like, oh my God, it's in my head, like.
So how do you overcome it? Like, do you have a mantra? Do you read a book? Do you just say, let's go?
Oh my God. All of the above. I, again, like lean on my community. I've made a really explicit effort to surround myself with people who can help me work through that stuff. So super strong friend group. And then also, like, even if it's not my everyday friends, specifically seeking out women who either are entrepreneurs or are artists or are in some way, like, creating their own work and face these same battles all the time, and create a network and like, schedule time. So we meet once a month and, like, very vulnerably talk about this stuff. And I think once you realize you're not the only one facing these same questions, and you also witness a lot of other women, like, being successful in your eyes from the outside, you recognize how off you might be, or, like, how much you're putting too much pressure on yourself. And so that's been really helpful. So people, and then also, like, I did see, like, a therapist for a while to help me with, like, the emotional journey of having a full-time safe job to, like, no longer having that, and there's, like, some emotional fallout from that. And yeah, stuff like that. Reading books. I mean, I always am reading books. I feel like self-help is, like, the key thing that I read through. I think it's awesome to want to, like, journey down self-discovery and just thrive, like, learn how to thrive and evolve.
Let's just dive into the second piece. Not that we want to turn this to therapy.
Yeah,
However, I do want to dive into what, you went from having a successful job, making
good
pure hard cash in San Francisco, to now bootstrapped company. You have not had a full-time paycheck coming in for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
How does that, what impact does that have on you?
God.
And what would you say to an aspiring entrepreneur out there to get ready or to help them persevere through this?
Yeah, I took down a note so I didn't forget this. And it was, I think first, like, know your risk profile. So, like, I take risks. And I've been that way my whole life. And for that reason, I need to have, like, a great checks and balance in place. And I need to sit down and have some consequences of, like, what's my financial budget? What's my personal budget? What's my business budget? How is that making sense? And how is that changing month to month? And so know your risk profile. If it's high, have someone help you check yourself. And then if it's low, help you have someone, like, push yourself a little bit. But, I think the money part, like, I didn't do it the right way, which is I took out a bunch of credit cards. I, like, maxed them out. I have, like, I'm working through that, and you learn really quickly in that circumstance. But everything they say about keeping a full-time job as long as you can, understanding your budget, and then, like, doubling it, and, like, all of those things are said for a reason because it's true. And the last thing you should do is, like, kind of dig yourself into a hole of high interest debt. Like, there's just literally no point in doing that. So
check yourself. Don't wreck yourself.
Yep. Been there.
Amazing.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going back in time.
Yeah.
That's my back in time sound.
Oh, I like it.
And you are back at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So you're day one of starting this journey. What would you tell yourself, or what do you wish you had known that you now know?
Yeah. Like, move faster, actually, and ask for money sooner, like, fundraise sooner. Or try to fundraise sooner and learn why you can't, or learn how you need to change. And that's probably it. I mean, I think I'm really grateful for where I am, and I've learned a lot. So I don't know that I'd do anything super different, but I think I would have approached the financial landscape differently.
Love it. All right, we're going to dive into some real quick lightning round. Mm-hmm. So as it comes to mind, what are your favorite tools and resources to run your business?
Yeah, I used Go a lot in the beginning, and then YC, so, like, Y Combinator for just, like, really free and thorough guides. And also Allraise has a boot camp that I went through in August, and that was really rad and has a ton of, like, super rich documents and kind of a playbook. And then now Lady Solange has, like, an awesome resource.
We did not pay her to say that.
Yeah, nope, has incredible resources. So, yeah, just Google and find your favorites.
Cool. What is one podcast that you listen to?
Oh my God. Second Life. Mm-hmm. I listen to that a lot. How I Built This, I used to listen to a lot. But probably Second Life is the one I listen to the most often.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's one quote that you love?
Oh my God, what? Just do it? Nike?
That's terrible.
Oh, that is terrible.
We might edit that out.
Don't have a quote off the top of my head, sorry.
I would like a nice yoga mantra.
Cool. I'll work on that for next.
All right, one question we always ask everybody is
I have
an
one.
action. Oh, no, go ahead.
It's one day, or day one is the thing that I say to myself a lot. Like, meaning you can do it one day, or today could be day one. So that's the thing that I say a lot.
I just got the chills.
Okay.
That was much better
Much
than
better.
just doing. All right. Because this is Power Round, we are going to wrap this up with how we end all Ladies Who Launch events and conversations, which is you have a massive global audience listening to you. What is one action that you want them to take for aspiring or current entrepreneurs by the end of the week?
Yeah. Write down your dream and believe you can do it. That's it.
You heard it here first. Who do we have here?
Lauren Fennema from Confidants.
Where should they go to find all of the cool goods?
weareconfidants.com.
And what is your favorite brand on the weareconfidants.com right now today?
Right now today, Mohinders.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to wrap and roll. Thank you for joining us on Power Podcast of Real Talk with Ladies Who Launch. And we'll have a featured founder story with Lauren here shortly, so make sure you check that out. And we'll be back at you real soon.